Ooh.
Yo, what is good?
Damn. First black champ starting off the pod, basically. Um, no, normally we'll talk about this stuff on First Black Champ with Cam from the Port, but we talk about it sometimes on here too. Reading a release from Stephanie McMahon. She says that about 8 months ago, I took a leave of absence within a few weeks. Unexpectedly, at the opportunity of a lifetime, I had the privilege to return as the co-CEO and chairwoman of the board of WWE. I can't put into words how proud I am to have led what I consider to be the greatest company in the world, working alongside a remarkable leadership team and one of the strongest executives I know in my co-CEO, Nick Khan. Our founder, Vince McMahon, has returned as executive chair and is leading the exciting process regarding strategic alternatives. And with Nick's leadership and Paul Triple H Levesque, her husband, as chief content officer, I am confident WWE is in the perfect place to continue to provide unparalleled creative content and drive maximum value for shareholders. Just got the alert too. WWE is in such a strong position why that I decided to return to my leave and take it one step further with my official resignation. I look forward to cheering on WWE from the other side of the business, where I started when I was a little kid as a pure fan. I'll always remain dedicated to the WWE. I truly love our company, our employees, our superstars, and our fans. I am grateful to all of our partners. Thank you for everything. Then now together forever. Damn, man, the family business is crumbling.
Yeah, is that good or is that bad?
See, I don't want to speculate, but I think Stephanie was ready to just be a mom. Daughters getting older, like they got all daughters.
Yeah.
Daughters getting older, and I think Steph wanted to be a mom. And when she took that that leave of absence, that was really about her being a mom. But golly, when Vince McMahon comes back and you hear about the reports of them looking to sell the company, you look at this and you go, hmm, what does that look like for Steph with Vince back in executive chair? If he's in an executive chair, she's just on the board, so she can go back. And if he's back in that chair, she could just go back to what she was doing. But now with the potential sale of the company, that means I could go chill. But what this also means is that we are now in a world that we have not seen in a while, where Vince McMahon is really the only McMahon that is running the WWE. Shane ain't involved. Steph ain't involved no more. Triple H. I mean, I guess storylines is true, for real, that
Yeah.
Triple H then literally took over the company from a certain vantage point. And we talk about it a little bit more on First Black Champ. You can subscribe to Barbershop Digital to get our latest episode that dropped on a Tuesday. But man, we living in a world, man, that and probably will be officially living in a world in probably 3 to 6 months where the McMahons will not be running WWE.
Before we move on, but not to get too much in depth about it, because I know, like you said, y'all talk about it more on First Black Champ. Just give me a little bit of insight on what it means as far as the WWE being sold. What does that mean specifically for people that might not understand exactly what that means for a company to be sold elsewhere or sold to other, like what does that mean for
I mean,
WWE?
what that means is that Vince McMahon. So Vince McMahon, just to give y'all a brief synopsis, Vince McMahon may have left the WWE, but he still had the majority of shares, so he's still a majority owner of the WWE. The WWE is up for TV deals next year, so it is time to start negotiating said TV deals. And Vince McMahon basically said that ain't no sale happening unless I'm involved in the process. So he basically using, you know, the power that he had, basically forced himself along with two other people back onto the board. They let three people go, including one who actually started the investigation of sexual allegations, misconduct allegations for Vince McMahon, which really pushed him out. You know, so it's been reported that the WWE has been looking for a sales partner or trying to make themselves attractive for a sales partner for a couple of years since Nick Khan, who's now the CEO of the company, was hired. Nick Khan is a celebrity agent and a host of other things. So they gutted a lot of people. They cut a lot of talent, things of that nature. And a lot of people were just saying that they was trying to cut the fat to make themselves more attractive to potential buyers.
And when you say potential buyers, who, like what companies?
So it's reported
buyers.
It's reported that Amazon, Comcast, which is NBC Universal Comcast, Disney, and a couple of others are potential buyers for the WWE. Endeavor, who owns the UFC, Ari Emanuel, Rahm Emanuel's brother, he runs that. The Saudi Arabia group that owns Live Golf.
Oh, they got plenty of money.
They got plenty of money. So, but Amazon, out of the group, Amazon got the most bread. Yeah. Amazon out here with all of the bread. So It's interesting, but yeah, we're living in a world where Vince McMahon and the McMahon family will not own the WWE.
Okay, one more question. So when you say when the WWE, if or and when the WWE is sold, what are future opportunities for the WWE? What does that present for the WWE?
It really just depends on where they go and what they allow. Like, you know, let's look at the UFC for an example, right? The UFC, the I can't pronounce their names, but the Ferretta brothers bought the UFC from its original owners for like $1 million, basically. But they sold the UFC for, you know, I think a little over $1 billion to Endeavor. So with that being said, they left Dana White as president. So he's the face of the company. He's not the owner, but he's the face of the company. And we're going to talk more about Dana White a little bit later in the show. But he is the face of the company. He's the president of the company. He has some ownership in it, small ownership in it. But yeah, man, it's like it depends on where they go. Like, think about if Disney buys the WWE. Think about the IP that they would have. Think about the wrestlers and the merch and the money. Think about, you know, the WWE and Disneyland. You know, there's a lot to that. Think about Amazon having like all of the money and the WWE being a part of Amazon Prime. Amazon, they've already shelled out a gang of money for Thursday Night Football. They tried to get Sunday Ticket, but you know, Google, YouTube got that. So they got money. Netflix is another company reportedly that would be interested in the WWE. They're looking to get into live events. I said this on First Black Champ, and I'll say this here. If I was involved in some type of way, this is what Bang would do. Like, if I'm Comcast and I purchase the WWE, you still have Peacock and you still have the WWE on Peacock, but I would take it a step further and they would have a channel on Comcast network, you know, and And when I look at the WWE, and this is something that I talked about on the show, and I feel like this is it's been time. I don't see WWE as a wrestling company. I barely see the WWE as a content company, like just solely a content company. I look at the WWE like ESPN, where you have, because wrestling is wrestling, it has been time for a channel devoted to wrestling. And because they are the big fish in the small pond, I believe that the next step for the WWE is basically to do what Vince Jr. did with Vince Sr. And what he did was he bought the company, he took the company from a regional brand to a national brand, buying up other organizations and taking their wrestlers in, and the territories was pissed off about that. You could go look at the Vice show. The territories was mad than a motherfucker that Vince McMahon came in and offered their wrestlers a boatload of cash, and then eventually had to buy their territory basically from them.
Yeah. And when you say like WWE having its own channel, that would be like crazy. And I would love that based off the
So
fact that what
now
they
let me finish. Let me
yeah, go
finish.
ahead.
Let me finish. Because it ain't, it's a lot to it. So
Yeah,
let me finish.
yeah.
So the parent company, like the parent name of the WWE is Titan Sports. That's why when you look at, you see Titan Sports, all this stuff. So I believe that Titan Sports Network should be the network. The WWE has enough content because you have the network to go on Titan Sports Network. But I also believe that the next step for the WWE, again, is similar to what Vince did with his father, taking the company and making it a regional, going from regional to national. And Vince took it from national to global. But I think the next step is to basically do what all of these other platforms have done: streaming rights. And you see like Fight TV and other brands start to do it. You see the WWE do it a little bit because they have like GCW and some of the European companies on there, like on the network. But you see Fight TV, where you see a multitude of wrestling companies who stream their product on there.
Yeah.
I believe that the WWE should work with all of the top brands and work on streaming rights, streaming deals with those brands. And by WWE, I mean Titan Sports. So on the Titan Sports Network, you would have WWE on Monday, Impact on Tuesday, AEW on Wednesday, GCW on Thursday, New Japan Pro Wrestling on Friday. You would have a morning show devoted to all wrestling. You would have a night show devoted to all wrestling. So they have like their own sports center, so on and so forth. Camp from the Port don't like the bump, so I was just like their own version of Sports Center. You have enough journalists and respected people in this business of wrestling, of sports entertainment, where you could create shows with them. Peter Rosenberg has been doing this thing. Sean Ross Sapp has been doing this thing. You got Dave Meltzer has been doing this thing. You got magazines like Pro Wrestling Illustrated that's been around for years. You have everything you need to start a wrestling network. And when you look at there's a HGTV, there's a whole channel devoted to fixing your house.
Yeah.
There's channels devoted to Black programming. There's networks for gay and lesbian, for the LGBTQ community. You have sports networks, all those. I think a wrestling network would be big.
But that wouldn't have anything to do with WWE though, right? WWE wouldn't have their hand in it, would they?
I mean, WWE, Titan Sports is the parent company to WWE. Titan Sports would be bought by, in this case, Titan Sports would be bought by NBC Universal. Right. So at this point, like even with this sale, At this point, we have to start looking at the WWE differently, especially when you see the amount that the WWE is probably going to be sold for. The WWE might go for $9-10 billion.
Jeez.
That ain't no regular ass company. It's not a small company, fam. If you being bought by like for $10 million, G. But I also believe to
$1 billion.
$billion, excuse me. But I also believe to take the next step, the WWE has to become ESPN. They have to come. They have to become Fox Sports. They have to become that. And with them working on streaming partnerships with other wrestling brands, it's the WWE along with everybody else.
Right.
And the WWE is the crown jewel of all of that. So they don't stunt themselves. In fact, they increase their network and they increase their net worth because now you got to come to them for streaming.
Mm-hmm.
And now you don't have to worry about other companies getting tired of having wrestling. You can really control that. And with the ratings that you see wrestling get, and I'm tripping. I'm talking about New Japan on Friday. Monday and Friday is pocketed with Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah.
Impact on Tuesday, AEW on Wednesday, New Japan Pro Wrestling on Thursday, SmackDown on Friday. And everybody is streaming on there. Like, imagine if, like, you can't do that with the NFL because, I mean, technically you can. Like, and the NFL Network has helped out. They're helping out the XFL. They helped out in a bit. The USFL, this new version of it. The NBA has the G League. G League gets shown where? You know, you even get some, international games on there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the next step of the WWE. Other than that, you grow no bigger than what you can be. But having a wrestling network, a Titan Sports network, and then there's some wrestling companies gonna be like, oh no, fuck that, But Warner Discovery is reportedly one of the people that's looking into, whether they should throw out a bid for the WWE. Warner Discovery has AEW. You think Warner Brothers Discovery gonna buy WWE and say we gonna keep them both? Probably not.
Yeah.
And it's not about buying the company. The WWE, like, yo, you do what you do. Do your thing. We get streaming rights. The same way that that TNT and them get streaming gets TV rights for the NBA. Same thing you could do with the WWE.
Yeah. Interesting.
So that's what I would do.
They should hire you. They should hire you, bro.
I said it, man, on the pod, man. But I think that's the next step, especially with the McMahon family being out of the wrestling business, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the next step. You get you have your own Super Bowl and WrestleMania. You can still do your premium live events, and everybody be on Peacock. I think NBC Universal, if you go that route, has a great opportunity with cornering the wrestling marketplace and getting everybody money.
Mm-hmm.
Because if everybody going to your channel to watch wrestling and they ain't going to nowhere else, that's money hand over fist. But again, you have channels that's devoted to just one thing on Comcast right now. Hey, I think it's a good opportunity though, man. But Some Dude Pod, episode 155. Make sure you rate, like, subscribe, download wherever you get your favorite podcast. Make sure you go ahead and get that merch. Click the link in our bio, somedudepod.merch. You go ahead and get that right there. Follow us on Twitter at somedudepod, Instagram somedudepod. Join the Some Dude Pod group, all that. Let's just go ahead and get to it, man. I am so happy.
What are you happy about, man?
I've never seen this. I've never seen the Chicago Bears win the Super Bowl.
You've never seen it.
Never seen it.
Mm-hmm.
I seen them play in the Super Bowl. When I was younger, they was in the Super Bowl, and I was, toddler. I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah.
But I mean, even though I know they won, I I wasn't, move over there, boy. Go to sleep. They probably gave me a melatonin to watch the game.
And that's
But,
why I always say too, when the Cowboys won the Super Bowl when I was 9-10 years old. And I remember.
you
I
you
remember
9-10 years old, Mike.
That's not an
Nah.
experience that I
Mike,
want. I'm not gonna remember that.
Mike,
but
come
go
on,
ahead.
Mike.
I'm not making. I'm just saying.
That's like saying that you ain't experienced the Bulls winning the championship, fam.
But I vividly remember that shit though. That's
you 9-10 years old, fam. You should vividly remember that.
All
What
right,
the fuck was you doing at 9-10 years old that you don't remember that shit?
I mean, I remember, but go ahead though. Go ahead.
No,
I get your point though.
I get what you're saying as far as like you want to experience something when you grown.
Mm-hmm.
But nigga, you was again. Come on, man. You 10 years old and they won the Super Bowl, fam. Like, don't you saw it. Bears won the Super Bowl in 86. Nigga, I was 4.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about that really.
Yeah.
So, nah.
I understand.
But the Bears, worst record in the league, but second worst record in the league coming into week 18. The Texans was going against the Colts, and I said it. I expected the Colts to win this game. It was a little bit iffy, but god damn it, the Colts won the booty Super Bowl. The Bears got their ass kicked by the Minnesota Vikings. So now the Chicago Bears will hold the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. Mike, when I tell you this is the closest to a Super Bowl I have gotten so far, look, I know the Bears was in it.
That's not the closest, bang. Y'all, I'm about to say y'all was in the Super Bowl.
I know the Bears was in it for a little bit.
That has to took it to the house.
But I never, ever, ever expected the Bears to win that game.
It's okay. But
so I wasn't necessarily hurt. But this right here, having the number 1 pick feels like you won something, Mike. Even though you lost, like, look, the best way of putting it is Gloria on White Men Can't Jump. Her quote is exactly what the Texans and the Bears went through.
When you lose, you actually win.
Sometimes when you win, you lose.
And sometimes when
you lose, you win. And sometimes when you win or lose, you actually tie. Fellas, anybody who's looking at this, anybody that's listening to this, sometimes when you win, you lose. The Texans lost. Maybe. The only reason why I say maybe is if you are the GM, Nick Caserio, because apparently he's going to hire another coach, and that's weird considering the last 2 he hired got fired after 1 year. So him hiring another coach is unprecedented. But that being said, if you are him and you look at this current crop of quarterbacks, if you are happy with any of the 3, because Mel Kiper has Will Levis from Kentucky as his number 1 rated quarterback. He has Bryce Young 2, and he has CJ Stroud 3. There's been reports that some front office execs believe that CJ Stroud has played himself into the number 1 spot. And then you have Bryce Young, who played for Alabama. And everybody loves him. He's the smaller out of the 2, the more slight out of the 2. CJ Stroud is like 6'3", 220. He's kind of like built a little bit smaller than Justin Fields. He got an arm. He's, he is kind of accurate, Then you got Will Levis, who played for Kentucky. He was expected to, compete for the Heisman, but he lost a lot of people and didn't have the best season. But Mel Kiper thinks he's the number 1 prospect. The combine is
the combine will tell a lot.
Like combine gonna tell a lot. Yeah. But if I am the Houston Texans, I'm not mad at any of the quarterbacks. I'm good at 2. Even though I lost by winning, think I'm good at 2. So I may have actually tied if I'm the Texans. Even though I won, I might have actually tied.
Yeah.
If I am the Colts, even though I lost, I may have won because I am the 4th pick. But I might have lost. I might have lost 2 because
It's crazy the way you try to
right,
explain this with the
yeah,
wins and the losses.
I might have lost 2 because I might not be able to get the quarterback I want. So I might have to go to the Bears and give them a whole bunch of picks just to get that number 1 to get in front of the Texans. Because I don't know what I don't know who they're going to get.
Yeah.
Then I'm the Bears. I get the number 1 pick, and I got the most cap room in the league. Damn near double the next team. Sometimes when you lose, you win. The Bears lost. They won because they control the draft, and in some respects, they control free agency with all the money that they have.
Facts.
Now, that being said, that was very confusing saying all that shit. It was very confusing. Like, sometimes
I understood.
Sometimes when you win, you lose. That's the Houston Texans. Sometimes when you lose, you win. That's the Bears. And sometimes when you win or lose, you actually tie. That's the Colts. Or maybe that's the Texans. I don't know. But it's a lot.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Rosie Perez.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. But keep going. I'm going to send out a PSA to all of my homies in the Some Dude Pod group. I'm going to send a message to everybody who listens to this pod.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to send to anybody who just mess with us in general.
Yeah.
Between now and the NFL draft in April, believe half of what you hear and none of what you see. There's going to be so much misinformation thrown out there because of who owns the pick. And it's not just because it's the Bears. It's not just that. It's not because of that. It's because the Bears have found their quarterback of the future.
Let me ask you a question, Bang, before you get into it. Do the Bears have like one of the most unique number 1 picks in recent history of the draft?
That's why there we go.
My bad. I'm sorry. I was ahead of the curve. My bad.
Yes.
You got it.
Because they don't technically. This has happened before. Remember, the San Diego Chargers had the number 1 pick in the draft, and then they traded down to the Atlanta Hawks, and the Atlanta Hawks picked Michael Vick, and the San Diego Chargers drafted LaDainian Tomlinson. I can't remember what draft it was.
That's a win-win.
But that was not only a win-win, but in the second round, the first pick of the second round, the San Diego Chargers selected Drew Brees, which, was good while it lasted. He ended up hurting his shoulder. They drafted Phillip Rivers. And then Drew Brees went to San Diego. He got him a Super Bowl ring. And Phillip Rivers is probably the best quarterback to never win a Super Bowl. But he did things in San Diego. So, but the Bears have the number 1 pick in the draft, and they found their quarterback of the future. But what Ryan Poles is not going to do is throw all of his cards on the table. Why, you might ask? It's because he got the number 1 pick in the draft. He has to give you misinformation or not tell you everything because he needs to drive that price up. Mike, I'm going to tell you about a trade that happened.
Marlo Stanfield, baby.
Basically.
The price of the brick just went up.
The price of the brick just went up, Mike. Price of the brick just went up.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you about a little trade that happened. Right? Trade that happened in the 2002 draft, I think this was. Trey Lance ended up in San Francisco because of a trade that happened.
And that ain't looking too good for him.
It's not.
Got this guy named Brock Purdy.
It's not.
Is out there cooking right
it's
now.
Not. It's kind of not.
But
that's messed up.
That's another story for another pod. Go ahead.
All right, so the San Francisco 49ers traded up to number 3 in the 2021 draft, the same draft that a certain Bears quarterback was in. And they sent their 2021, 2022, and 2023 first round picks, along with a third round pick, to the Dolphins. That's the number 3 pick.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm a Bears fan, I'm saying, wait a minute. They gave that up for just the third pick? Oh, we'll get to that in a second.
Mm-hmm.
Because with that pick, they got Trey Lance, who they felt would be the quarterback of the future.
Mm-hmm.
Very well might be. I mean, I don't think that Brock Purdy is going to beat him, in training camp. But, boy, if he do, it may go down as the worst pick in NFL history.
Well, I mean,
But here's why. Because with the 12th pick in the 2021 draft, the Miami Dolphins picked Jalen Waddle, wide receiver. They traded their first pick in the draft in 2022, the pick they got from the San Francisco 49ers, in a trade to the Kansas City Chiefs to get Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
So they're 2 starting wide receivers, quite possibly the fastest wide receivers in the league, 1 and 2, was traded for or picked through the Trey Lance trade. But wait, there's more. They used their 2023 first round pick, this year's draft, for Bradley Chubb. Mm-hmm. So they not only have 2 wide receivers off of that trade, they have one of the best defensive ends in the league for Trey Lance. So, y'all thinking, so what? Fellas and ladies, when I tell you, if I'm the Bears, I am looking at that trade and I'm saying, hey, y'all know what the starting point of this conversation is, right? You see what they got? Mm-hmm. You see what they gave up? You want to talk? Conversation starts there. And what I talked about earlier, sometimes when you win, you lose. Sometimes when you lose, you win.
Every time you say this, I'm going to start laughing. That shit is so funny.
Sometimes you win or lose, you actually tie. I'm looking at the Colts here.
Oh, my God.
Because who is the team that has been without a first-round pick? Well, not a first-round pick, but a quarterback. Andrew Luck retired and fucked everything up for the Colts, fam. They were one of the hot predictions to go to the Super Bowl the year he retired.
Crazy.
The day he retired in a preseason game against the Bears, the whole league was like, what the fuck? The fans in Indianapolis saw the report and was like, man, get the fuck up out of here. They booed him on the way out.
Andrew, you know what's also funny about Andrew Luck's retirement? It has entirely nothing to do with football. But when Andrew Luck retired, that was like right around the time we first started doing Some Do Pod.
Yeah.
Our first, I think our second or third episode of Some Do Pod was about Andrew Luck retiring. But proceed.
Shouts out to you, man.
Yes.
So the Colts had Jacoby Brissett. Mm-hmm. They traded for Phillip Rivers. And then they traded for Carson Wentz. And they traded for Matt Ryan. None of them shits panned out. They have not been able to draft a quarterback in the first round since they drafted Andrew Luck with the first pick. If I'm the coach and I look at Jonathan Taylor, they got a pretty decent wide receiver with Michael Pittman Jr.
Okay.
and Paris Campbell's decent.
Okay.
Their offensive line, they got a pretty decent offensive line. Quentin Nelson is one of the best guards in the game. Ryan Kelly is a good center. They
Okay.
need to, they need to get them tackles shored up again.
They got to get their head coaching thing together too, though, right?
I know, yeah.
Yeah.
You got the defense with Darius Leonard. Pretty decent defense. And they need a head coach. If I'm the coach, the Bears, we're going to have a conversation.
Okay.
Because I have to get a quarterback. If I'm the GM, Chris Ballard, I am desperate. But not just get a quarterback, get the quarterback. See, if I'm the Texans again, I'm looking like, hey, man, I'm cool with any of these three. I probably would pick CJ Stroud because I like Bryce Young, but he's small, fam.
Okay.
Like Bryce Young, like Devonta Smith.
Devontae Smith.
Yeah, but a quarterback.
Devontae Smith actually proved himself, though, bro, because I was concerned about his size.
Oh, yeah. But at a quarterback spot,
yeah.
I mean, Paul's on all this, but I need my quarterback to be thick.
Paul.
I don't need no small ass quarterback, man.
Yeah.
I need some girth in my QB. I don't need no small quarterback. I don't need no short quarterback, man.
Cue the Razor Ramon. Hey, yo.
I don't need no small quarterback, fam. And he very well may be dope, but 6'1", like let's see what he listed as, fam. Because I think he
got time to go to the gym.
Man, that's a lot of gym you're gonna have to go to. If he what I think he is,
yeah.
As far as he's 6 foot, G. He's 6 foot.
Yeah.
Hold on. He's 6 foot 194, fam.
Yeah.
Defensive lineman, fam. I'll eat him alive.
Yeah.
Looking at the corner like, oh, we about to get you, fam. Like,
yeah.
Oh. But I like CJ Stroud, and I think CJ Stroud has the higher ceiling. Right? But that being said, if I'm the Texans, I'm like, look, I'm cool with Stroud. I'm cool with Levis. I'm cool with Young. But if Young is the choice, go ahead and get him. But the Colts don't know that. And what makes it even better for the Colts for the Texans is, shit, that's a goddamn individual rival.
Right.
You got to have a quarterback in this league now. And in the AFC, you have got to have one.
We have to have a quarterback, and we also have to put an end and a rest to these old quarterbacks. Again, I said it on previous pods, death to old quarterbacks. Stop giving Matt Ryans and Joe Flacco's and these guys 1-year deals, you know what I'm saying, to think they're going to save your football team or whatever you're trying to do, bro. Like, because the shit is dead. Invest in a quarterback. You hit it right on the head. In this league, you need a quarterback. And you need a young quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
So I wonder what that draft board for the Colts look like. Because if you got Bryce Young on your board at number 1, and like you was dot in this CJ Stroud and Will Levis, I can't bullshit, fam. Bears, I go these 3 number 1 picks. I go the second round pick, the 3rd round pick in next year's draft. I might even give you a player.
Right.
DeForest Buckner is the first person I think of because the Bears, if they trade down to 4, they might not get one of quite possibly the 2 best draft picks or prospects in this draft. Will Anderson, defensive end /3-4 linebacker from Alabama. is rated by many as the number one prospect, and Jalen Carter, 3-tech defensive tackle from Georgia, is rated as number 2. The Bears could trade the 4. The number 1 pick goes to the Colts. The Colts draft Bryce Young. The Texans go, hey man, let's see what's up, but I think I want to go with a white quarterback this time. Because the black one, he like massages a lot. So let's go get Will Levis. Then at number 3 is the Arizona Cardinals, I believe. Yes, the Arizona Cardinals. They are the wild card here. Now I'm gonna put some shit out here, Mike. Might not happen, it might not. Might happen, it might not. I'm gonna put something out here, Mike. Kyler Murray did just sign a big ass deal. Kyler Murray tore his ACL. Kyler Murray might not play next season. He might not play, Mike.
Because obviously he won't be ready by week 1.
Because he tore his ACL late in the season.
Yeah.
So it's almost your best bet to not play him. So, Bryce Young, let's say Will Levis, you at the number 3 pick. I would not be shocked or surprised if the Arizona Cardinals get a quarterback.
Okay.
Reason why is I'll find a way to trade Kyler Murray if I need to next season once he shows he's healthy.
What's crazy is that you say that too, because I literally just seen a report that DeAndre Hopkins could be on the trade market as well. So the Arizona Cardinals might be looking to blow it up.
Blowing it up, fam. They blowing it up. They are blowing it up. And the person that they hire, you got to look at this. I'm saying what people say. I'm not the biggest Kyler Murray fan,
mm-hmm.
But it came out this year because they put it in his contract. They eventually took it out, but he had to spend a certain amount of time on looking at tape. He's also on the smaller side of QBs. He just tore his ACL, and his game is predicated on his legs for the most part.
Okay.
Bruh, if I am the next head coach and GM, because the GM quit, Steve Kine. So you're hiring a coach and a GM.
Wait, he fired the head coach and then he quit, right?
Well, now the owner did that. Owner fired the head coach. And he was probably going to tell it. He probably told dude to quit. Well, I'm going to fire you. Probably. I don't know. The GM.
Yeah.
But if I'm a potential head coach or GM, is Kyler Murray really somebody that I want to invest my future in, considering what I heard from y'all? And he coming off of an ACL?
I'll take a gamble on Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, I think he's shown
your
upside.
Gamble, but remember, your gamble has to come in 2024.
Because you think he's not going to play next year.
He's not, Mike. If he plays, it's going to be some late in the season shit. So that means, as you said, you got to go get you one of these old marks or a placeholder. You got to go. You got to play your whole season with Colt McCoy.
Yeah.
Basically. Or you got to see if Baker Mayfield will come.
Is available.
Like, because let me put this.
Hey, Baker Mayfield might be QB1. We don't know where the Rams gonna be at as far as like.
Well,
Stafford.
Matthew Stafford said he ain't retiring, but we don't know if Sean McVay is coming back.
Yeah, they probably might blow that up too.
But Mike, let me put you on to the free agent class of the quarterbacks, because there's a quarterback that I will definitely look at if I am the Arizona Cardinals. Tom Brady is a free agent.
Arizona?
Nah, hell no.
Hell no.
Baker Mayfield is a free agent. Sam Darnold is a free agent. Jimmy Garoppolo is a free agent. Some people think he's a good fit in Tampa Bay to replace Tom Brady if Tom Brady decides to leave and go to, let's say, the Las Vegas Raiders
New
or
Orleans.
retires. Teddy Bridgewater is a free agent. Daniel Jones is more than likely going to get his extension. Case Keenum's a free agent.
Yeah.
Mason Rudolph is a free agent.
Yeah.
Jacoby Brissett is a free agent. Geno Smith is a free agent, but he's probably going to get a contract extension. Hang on that old QB again, Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Andy
Retired.
Dalton. Right. Andy Dalton is a free agent, but,
Andy Dalton is terrible.
Yeah,
I say terrible, but yeah.
But you got
one of them old quarterbacks that need to just go. But go ahead.
Yeah, but he is a quarterback that's a free agent next year. And it's done, for what it's worth, a great job. And had you questioning the motherfucker, that was the number 2 pick in the draft, Mike White. You have to go out and get somebody like a Mike White to start for your team while Kyler Murray is out, especially if you think that you have a team that's good enough to compete for the division title, or we just gonna tank.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I'm just telling you about who you can sign. And some people think that Mike White is a fringe starter in the NFL. But again,
is he though? Is he though? I think
so.
That might have been an over-exaggeration because it looked like he only had one good game, and that was against the Bears.
I think Mike White is a fringe. I said fringe. I think he could start on one of 32 teams.
Okay.
I'm not saying like he's one of the great ones. I'm not saying that he's top 20, but I can see him starting a 17 game season and being all right, holding your team together. But here's the other part too: the offense that Kyler Murray played in. See, Cliff Kingsbury was hired when the Arizona Cardinals got the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. And they had drafted Josh Rosen the year prior with the number 10 pick. When Cliff Kingsbury got hired, he knew who was going to run that offense. That was Kyler Murray, fam. Because that's the offense that Kyler Murray basically ran in college. So there you go. Went to Oklahoma, did all that shit. Boom. He knows the offense. I don't think that the coach that's going to come in to Arizona is going to run that same offense. And if you already have an issue, not saying that Kyler Murray ain't smart, I'm just going by what people are saying. They say my man don't spend enough time looking at tape. He don't spend enough time in that playbook like that. If that's the case, Mike, if you are a head coach that don't run the same offense that this dude has been running basically for the last couple of years, this is the only offense he really knows. I'm going to come up in there and I'm going to bring my own system. Do I trust Kyler Murray to run that offense? Mike, I don't. But if I'm a coach and I'm a GM, I look to make my own mark because I ain't draft you. So I look at one of the 3 quarterbacks and I go, hey, man, that motherfucker looking attractive right there, fam. And I think long and hard about selecting the quarterback. See, all these pundits on there, this is what I'm telling y'all brothers, man, to watch yourselves. There's a lot of misinformation that's going to come out. There's a lot of jumping to conclusions. A lot of it is to drive ratings for that network, especially with the NFL being in playoff mode. So everything is all about the playoffs. But because people are not going to want to put all their cards on the table, a lot of speculation is going to happen. Thank you, Lovie, for giving us that number 1 pick in the draft. But you got Mike Tannenbaum, former GM in the NFL. He's now a front office insider for ESPN. He's on Get Up this morning talking about that he would think long and hard about trading Justin Fields. He feels that Justin Fields could be a top 10 quarterback, but I'll trade him for multiple picks, and I'll draft Bryce Young and reset this whole quarterback thing. You go ahead and get you a couple of more starters, and then you got $100 million in cap room. He ain't necessarily wrong in that thought. But I'm not this ain't even got to be Justin Fields. I'm not trading somebody that you say is a potential top 10 player, a top 10 quarterback in this league. Ain't no way in hell I'm doing that. Yeah. Especially when I can still trade that number 1 pick. Get picks, possibly even a player, if I pull it right, and still draft the best player available, depending on who I trade that pick to. Let's say the Colts. But people take that shit and run with it, and then Ryan Poles has his press conference, and he didn't come out and say Justin Fields is our quarterback. No, he said, I'm going to look at all options. You know why? Based off of what I just told y'all. If I'm the Arizona Cardinals at 3, I am thinking maybe quarterback is a good pick here. Mm-hmm. And if I'm the Colts, there's a possibility that Bryce Young can be drafted. There's a possibility that the Colts can jump me and the Texans and get that number 1 pick from the Bears. I might not get the quarterback I want if I'm thinking about going that route. Mm-hmm. So you can either think long and hard at taking a quarterback at 3 or trading with the Bears at 3 and you getting the number 1 pick and you drafting Bryce Young or CJ Stroud or Will Levis, getting the quarterback you want. If I'm the Cardinals, I'm thinking about that because the coach that comes in has to look at Kyler Murray and say, I can work with this because he can work with me. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure that's the case. That's just me. So while everybody's worried about Justin Fields and will they trade him and all that stuff, he ain't going nowhere. You need to go look at the Arizona Cardinals, though, and say, what's up with y'all? Yeah. Because they got questions, fam. And if they talking about blowing up that team, J.J. Watt retiring, trade DeAndre Hopkins, your quarterback is out with a torn ACL. Hey, man, something to think about.
What do you think the likely scenario is going to be with the Bears? What do you think they're going to do with their number 1 pick? What is your prediction?
Bears trade that pick.
Okay.
Trade that pick. And with everything I just said, I would not be surprised if the Arizona Cardinals is the pick. It's the team that trade with them. Okay. The Cardinals are coach is trading with the Bears, fam. Would not be surprised.
But one thing for sure, 2 things for certain, the Bears are trading that pick, though.
Yes.
The Bears will not be drafting anybody with that pick.
Look, I'll even go as far as saying this. There's not a bang beat knowing moment in this. I'm not gonna pull this card. But if this shit happened, Mike, boy, I need all of the flowers. And I don't want this to happen. But the team, if the Bears were to trade Justin Fields to any team, it's the team that I keep talking about. It is the Arizona Cardinals. Mm-hmm. That's where Justin Fields will go. And they would take that number 3 pick and they keep that number 1 pick, or they'll trade that number 1 pick and trade down. Like in a world where the Bears have 2 of the top 5 picks, it's not going to happen.
Can the Bears so what you said, excuse me, the Bears draft the quarterback at number 1.
Yep.
And then trade Justin Fields to the Cardinals for the 3rd pick?
Yep.
Oh.
I'm not saying that shit gonna happen. I don't believe it's gonna happen.
But that's an option. And that's something Ryan Poles is.
It's not all options. he backed that man as his 2023 starter. G. He's starting, so you're not picking a quarterback.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is it's always a team y'all ain't talking about. Ain't nobody said shit about the Arizona Cardinals. And when you got a quarterback that they talk so much shit about that even some of his own players currently on the team and former players have talked shit about, and I'm a coach and I come into that shit, and then you meet with him and you find out that shit to be true if I'm a coach or a GM, hey man, Kyler Murray ain't there in 2024. Hey, nah, man, you sit your ass over there. Go rehab that ACL, fam. Yeah. You straight? You good? We gonna figure out a way to get your ass up out of here. We gonna restructure this contract to make it tradable and trade your ass to a whole nother team. We'll trade you to the Raiders. And if I'm the Raiders, it's attractive because I could keep Jarek Stidham at that spot and let Kyler rehab. I trade you that 7th pick and some more picks for Kyler Murray. The Arizona Cardinals is a team to watch.
Interesting.
That's my prediction.
Interesting.
Arizona Cardinals is a team to watch. They don't have that. It's only because that quarterback. Okay. Sometimes when you win, you lose, Mike.
Sometimes when you lose, you actually win. And sometimes when you win,
wait,
what's the other? When you lose, you actually tie.
Sometimes when you lose, you actually tie. It's the best thought. Hey, Mike, man, how you feeling about the playoffs, though, man? Because your team looked like shit the last game of the season.
How do I feel? Yeah, man, I feel like
they look like shit.
As far as it's pertaining to the Dallas Cowboys, I'm unsure. I don't know which team will show up. I know what team needs to show up, but this Dallas Cowboys team throughout this season has showed that it's been very unpredictable throughout this season. Unpredictable about what you're gonna get. You don't know if you're gonna get a high-powered offense. You don't know if you're gonna get just the defense being great. You don't know if Dak's gonna be great or not. It's so tricky with this team right now, and I'm just gonna sit back and wait and just watch. But I'll say this: to beat Tampa, you have to keep the ball out of Tom Brady's hands. Okay, we know that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers ain't looked pretty this year. It ain't been pretty. They're not really that good. They won their division, but that's not really saying much. That division was horrible this year, and Tom Brady hasn't looked his best. But that's still Tom Brady. It is. That's still Tom Brady, and we've seen him do shit in the playoffs. We've seen him make plays. We've seen him be clutch. So the best way to keep the ball out of Tom Brady's hands, the run game has to show up. You have to pound the football and run the clock. Possession. Time of possession. You hear it right here on Some Do Pop. Mike B say the only way the Cowboys are going to win this game is they have to win time of possession. Tom Brady can't have the football. If they're in a situation where they could put the game away, you have to put the game away where Tom Brady's not going to be able to get the football back. Okay? That's how you're going to win. And that's going to come from the coaching. Mike McCarthy, you are on the hot seat, dog. Jerry Jones, you are lying if you say you have confidence in this coaching staff. He went on 103.5 The Fan today, and he said he had all the confidence in the world in the coaching staff. He is lying. I don't believe him. Mike McCarthy has shown to do dumb shit, make bad coaching decisions with this team. Okay? So I don't know. I don't believe him when Jerry Jones says that. If we lose this game, Mike McCarthy might not have a job. He might get fired.
Hey man, your man's Jerry Jones said, "Nah, that's not the case, man. You think he lying?
That's cap. That's cap. He lying, bro. He is lying. He tried to keep a positive attitude going into this game, and that's what you're supposed to do. Keep a positive attitude. Hey, Tom Brady is 7-0 against the Cowboys. I mean, I don't know if that's that go. I mean, hey,
he is
7-0 against the Cowboys. That's including the playoffs.
Ooh. Damn.
So he's 7-0 against a 7-0.
1, 2, 3. Cancun.
Might be Cancun. Cowboys might be going to Cancun. The next week's episode of Subdue Pod might not even happen. I might have to take a week off. I don't know. We'll see. Because they play Monday night. Monday night football.
We got an update on the Vince McMahon shit.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon has been voted unanimously the executive chairman of the board.
Okay. So what does that mean, Bang?
He not only is the owner, but he's the head of the table. He's Roman Reigns.
Okay.
Here's his statement. First, I'd like to express my full support for Stephanie's personal decision. I'll be forever grateful that she offered to step in during my absence, and I'm truly proud of the job she did co-leading WWE. Stephanie has always been the ultimate ambassador for our company, and her decades of contributions has left an immeasurable impact on our brand. I am proud to announce that Nick Khan will serve as the WWE CEO. Nick's business acumen and mastery of the media industry have helped catapult our business to record revenue and profitability. Together, we look forward to working with the board at this critical moment in time to review our strategic alternatives and maximize value for all WWE shareholders. Mike, have you ever seen the show Succession?
No, I was that's on the list to watch. We talked about that on the pod. I haven't watched it yet though.
Go ahead and put that bitch at the top of the list, Mike, because this is what we're watching right now.
Wow.
Literally in front of us. Mm-hmm. We're watching Succession.
Okay.
Vince McMahon's the pops. Stephanie and Shane are kids. You got Triple H. It's literally that. I still believe that Stephanie leaving for personal reasons is wanting to be a mother to her kids.
She just wants to be a regular
she just want to be a regular parent, man. She don't want she loves this life, but her husband in it. I got my husband. We straight.
Yeah.
If Triple H goes, that's what scares me.
Okay.
I don't think Tripp's going nowhere, because if he knew that he was going to lose creative control, Triple H would have left too. Mm-hmm. He left with his wife.
Okay.
Like, nah, you stay the chief content officer, fam. You straight.
Okay.
He would have left with her. He didn't.
How did Vince pull this off, bro, after these allegations? And all that?
He never lost. He still owned the shit. He still owned it.
He was like forced into retirement and just said, fuck it, I'm coming back.
Nah, look, white men don't be, look, let's be real, fam. Let's be real, man. Rich white men don't be forced into retirement, fam.
Okay.
They don't. They gonna get something.
Okay.
Like Denzel Washington told Jamie Foxx, I'm leaving out of here with something. Rich white men don't really be forced into retirement. Yeah. Matter of fact, let me rephrase that. Wealthy white men don't be forced into retirement. Let's look at the NBA, fam. Donald Sterling say some racist shit, get a cool couple of billion for selling his team.
Yeah.
Robert Starver for the Phoenix Suns said some racist and sexist shit, get a cool couple of $1 billion selling his team. He sold the team. Is he retired though? No. But you know what he's doing though? He's swimming in money like Scrooge McDuck. Vince McMahon owns the majority of the shares of the WWE. And if I'm a shareholder, I hate to say what I'm about to say, but if I'm a shareholder and the goal is to sell the company, because again, we cannot be blind about the fact that it was on their mind to sell this company. Vince McMahon need to be right there. Mm-hmm. And there might be some people that might not necessarily deal with him, but if they know that this $9 billion company is going to be profitable for us for years to come, they're not going to be like, you know what, I don't really want to holler at Vince. No, I'm straight. No, I don't want to buy them. I gotta talk to Vince. No. Hey, Vince, I got this check for $9 billion. And if I'm Amazon, I can go give you this shit in cash right now. You want it?
Mm-hmm.
Need me to cash app you $9 billion? All right, cool. So I believe half, none of what you see and half of what you hear. I think Stephanie was like, yo, it's time for me to be a mom, fam. She daughter about to be one of the daughters about to be in high school and shit, or is in high school. It's time to be a mom, fam.
Definitely.
Speaking of combat sports, man, I am so mad at the mainstream media. I cannot believe I'm saying this shit, Mike.
What happened?
Dana White is in the news for slapping his wife.
Yeah.
On New Year's, a video came out of Dana White wife slapped him.
Okay.
He slapped the ass back.
Okay.
She slapped him.
Okay.
He slapped the ass back.
Okay.
Couple of more slaps.
Mm.
Then they went out of the view.
Okay.
Now, I know it's gonna be some people that listen to the pod like equal opportunity. She slapped him first. I'm not talking about that, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm not hitting no woman. I'm not talking about that. What I am though going to talk about is how the fuck the mainstream media quiet about this shit.
Yeah, it's definitely we definitely not getting a lot of this. Ain't getting a lot of traffic right now.
And here's the thing, Mike. Here's the thing, Mike. I'm not gonna necessarily call this out as racism. See, I'm gonna look out for a couple of people here.
Yeah.
See, I had to put that voice on. I'm gonna look out for a couple of people here.
Mm-hmm.
When shit started to hit the fan, they was talking about Deshaun Watson all the goddamn time. Now, when they first started, it was mum's the word. But as I told y'all, can't be really talking about kinky shit on ESPN. But boy, when shit hit the fan, they was talking about that shit that day. It was a countdown. Like ticker ching.
For sure.
19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. They sound like the count on Sesame Street. But boy, if I'm another white man that was on ESPN, they was talking about that shit all the time. Not as much as Deshaun in the heyday, but I understand. They were still talking about it. If I'm Robert Kraft, I'm like, yo, why the fuck y'all ain't talking about this Dana White shit?
Yeah.
No.
I haven't seen the video. I need to see the video. I haven't seen it.
Go look up on your phone.
I have to check this out.
Go look at it on your phone. If I'm like Robert Kraft, I'm like, oh no, hell no. All I did was got a rub and tug. He slapped his wife. Now she slapped him first, but no, all I did was get beat off. You mean to tell me he do that and y'all don't say nothing? Now, for those who don't know, ESPN is a partner with UFC. Fights are on all of the fights are on ESPN Plus or ESPN. They got a nice little deal with ESPN. And again, Dana White is the founder. Not the founder, the president of the UFC. But he slapped a woman.
Hey, he wild for this. I'm watching it right now.
Bingo. He slapped a woman. And the only thing you get
she banked his ass though.
She did though. Yeah.
She banked him though, bro.
She did. She wasn't. Dana White was like,
"Whoa,
hold on,
like hold on now,
hold on, bitch."
It's like Dana White thought about it. It was like, boom.
She slapped me, fam.
Yeah.
Oh no, hell no. Then she slapped his ass again. He was like, oh.
Yeah. And then shit started to get thrown and all of that shit just got out of control right there. I just cut it off. Yeah.
But be that as it may, this is the one time that I'm gonna join the ruckus.
You go join in on why we ain't talking about this.
Why we ain't talking about this? I'm joining y'all on this one because Stephen A. Smith was on First Take and he was like, yo, I hit Dana White and I told him we gonna talk about this. I'll tell him shit. Why you gotta warn him?
Yeah.
Why you gotta give him the heads up? We about to talk shit about you tomorrow, fam. Just want to let you know. You got anything you want to say? Fuck out of here, fam. When look, I know news cycles because I'm in news. And I know how people keep up news cycles. I know how people don't. I'm seeing things be suppressed, and I've seen things go, oh no, we got to build that up. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to put some of the onus on us. If this is something that you feel that we need to talk about, you got to keep putting that shit out there. But Jemele Hill on the Atlantic basically shaded the shit out of her former employer, and I applaud her for it. Mm-hmm. Because, man, oh man, are y'all quiet about this shit? And I'm going to go with the slightest of shit. Like, there's been incidents that it has just been thrown out, and they keep it going and going and going and going. And this person got to apologize all the time. And his wife ain't going to say shit. Let's be real. And I'm not shading his wife. Stand by your husband, all that. You love him and stuff like that. Ain't nobody going to get no quote from his wife. Mm-hmm. And she got the ability to keep this shit going. Like this is what he said. You don't put your hands on a woman ever. My wife and I obviously love each other. We've been together for a very long time. We've known each other since we were very little. This was one of those unfortunate situations. She released a statement blaming alcohol, saying, unfortunately, we were both drinking too much on New Year's Eve and things got out of control on both sides. That right there, unfortunately, kills a lot of shit for white people. But boy, let it been somebody black. The next day after the statement, it would have been, she's scared, she's afraid, she should speak out, domestic violence, yada, 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 yada. And the next day, it would have been the same thing and the same thing. What should the NFL do about it? What should the NFL do about it? Personal conduct policy. Now, fortunately, to what we know, ain't no personal conduct policy in UFC. Mm-hmm. UFC don't even want to pay their fighters. It's fighters in the UFC that get paid what you get paid a year for a fight.
What's Dana White's actual job title with UFC? He's the president. He's the president.
Yeah.
So he runs shit, pretty much. Mm-hmm. So how he gonna get anything? So who makes the call? Who cracks the hammer on him?
And then ESPN writer and editor, according to Jemele Hill, Jeff Wagenheim, this is what she write, essentially confirmed my observation that the network is intentionally going easy on White. He tweeted, and this is the tweet here. And again, he writes for ESPN. He says, we've been told not to write anything incendiary on social media about the Dana White situation. And I understand why and have abided by that. I just ask y'all to understand that some of us at ESPN don't have as soft as a take as this on domestic violence. And that's the video of Stephen A. Smith talking about the Dana White slap, talking about he's a friend. I'm sorry, fam. Mm-hmm. I am so sorry, but I got to do this to Stephen A. again. Gotta do this to Stephen A. again.
Stephen A. boy, he also he protecting them white people, boy. He protecting them. Man, bro, he throwing that cape on, bro.
Stephen A. Smith, you have got to stop putting the cape on for these white mobs. You on ESPN looking all sad and shit. Molly even took a soft stance on it. And Molly be on ESPN when some shit happened to a woman, basically ready to cry.
Mm-hmm.
This is wrong. And so the NFL, but Dana White go slap his wife, and she talking about on both sides.
She on both sides. That's what she said.
Right, but if an NFL and his wife get into it, and there's a slap on both sides, it's this is wrong. Personal conduct policy. Now, when I tell y'all last, this is the reason why I don't be paying attention to sports debate shows like that. That's why. That's why. Might watch it for a little bit of entertainment.
Yeah.
But when Get Up go off, I turn it.
Yeah.
I try to find something else. If I'm not working. If I'm working, I'm really not paying attention to shit. But that's why. Because you gonna get, because of the debate and the ratings, you gonna get that hard ass stance about Kyrie Irving, or you gonna get that hard ass stance about Kevin Durant's choice on leaving Oklahoma City for Golden State. You gonna get that hard ass reaction to all of the stuff that y'all deem is hot. But when it's something like Dana White and there's interest to protect, you ain't gonna say shit.
What's crazy is that me and you talking about it right now, that's the most talk I've heard about that. And that's been 2 weeks. That happened New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, you said? New Year's Eve?
And
that's 2 weeks.
And here's the funny thing. It's not like Fox talking about that shit either.
Yeah.
That's why I said if I'm Robert Kraft, I'm like, oh no, hell no. Because y'all still be on here talking about my rub and tug. I'm an owner of a whole ass team. And y'all was in front of the courtroom.
Yeah.
Y'all was in front of the courtroom. Dana White slapped his wife. And Stephen A on TV about to cry. Because his friend slapped his wife. Nah, bruh. Robert Kraft is the white person in this one. I'm like, nah, y'all wild. Man. Y'all wild. Y'all know I'm worth more than him, right?
Yeah.
Y'all know that, right? I own the most successful football franchise in NFL. This is what we own? Bad. Fuck y'all in it. Like, fuck y'all, ESPN. If I'm Robert Kraft, I'm...
Facts.
And where's Dana White from? He's from Boston. But but on the black side of it, like this, we know that if this was somebody else, that it would
definitely get more traction.
It would be more traction.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking at and then I'm a look at president of company or face of company. I'm gonna look at black man. I'm just gonna throw out a random ass black man, a real random ass black man. I can't remember his last name, but I'll just say the president of the Washington Commanders. He's a black guy. I think his first name is Jason. If that man was on tape smacking his wife, whether his wife smacked him first or not, you already know what would happen. Oh man, it's investigation.
He would already been fired.
Yeah, it's an investigation. We don't condone that. Blah blah blah. Then on ESPN, it would be daily coverage of the Washington Commanders and the organization and what goes on in the organization. And this is the first black president of an NFL team. He does this. And Stephen A would be like, man, I understand he's a brother, but he gotta go. He gotta go.
Hey, he gotta go. He made a Doka.
Yep.
They ran wild with that shit.
That's what I was about to go. Now, to Stephen A's credit, Stephen A was like, yo, this ain't none of our business. Mm-hmm. But Ime Udoka wasn't caught having sex with a woman on tape. Those was consenting adults. Mm-hmm. It was sex. At the end of the day, this violence. And I ain't never seen nobody come on TV and damn near even though you didn't condone, give a soft-hearted ass story about a man who hit his wife. I don't care who hit who first. This was a first. Mm-hmm. This was like, what? Nah.
And bang, it's been 2 weeks now, 10 days since that happened. So all signs point to this being swept right under the rug.
It's already been swept under the rug.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to hear much more about this going forward. And that's unfortunate. You brought up a great point. Didn't even know we was going in that direction, but that's you hit that right on the head, bro. That shit is crazy.
Nah, it's wild.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how. Honestly, if my wife slapped me, bro, I can't react, bro. I don't have it in me, dog. No, it's not in me. She can hit me as many times as you want. I just don't have it in me, dog, to fire back on some like violence. I can't use violence with violence when it comes to a woman.
I'm gonna say this. Like I'm gonna say this. Like I'm not slapping no woman, fam.
At all. Can't do it.
I know how heavy-handed I am. I know how big I barely want to hit my kids. I barely want to whoop my kids, and I don't. Because I know I still don't know my own strength sometimes. And I know my quick reaction to somebody hitting me. So if that's a woman, I got to pull back. If that's my wife, I definitely got to pull back. Now, a conversation is going to be had.
Of course.
We going to have this conversation.
That honest conversation.
Because
that's what we do.
Which is going to be along the lines of, man, if I wasn't in my right mind, I would have whooped your motherfucking ass up there. You slap me in front of them people. I don't give a fuck. Don't ever do that shit like that again.
Yeah.
Like, matter of fact, you go stay with your daddy. You put your hands on me. But I'm not going to put my hands on you back.
Yeah.
No. But Dana White got to have a conversation. And just that little ass statement in your wife, like, you know what? Because you know what that tells me? If she did that shit like that in Mexico, they do that shit at the crib.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that mean to me. If that shit go on at the crib, that whole we've been knowing each other since kids shit. Oh yeah, y'all been whooping each other. Yeah, she throw knives and pots and pans and cups, and he be like, man, get your ass up, man, stop this shit. I can't believe you. And they white too, so that shit's crazy. And they probably had some wild ass sex afterwards too. See, that's the crazy thing too. Like, just to be lighthearted, because that's what we do at Some Dude. Yeah. I guarantee you, they like had some wild ass sex
after they beat on each other.
They from Boston too. Might be crazy out there.
Oh my god, that's some straight Lifetime movie.
You're fucking getting on my nerves, Molly. Fuck you, Ted. No, fuck you. Oh, pal. Oh, what are you hitting me for? I fucking love you. No, I love you. Like them motherfuckers, that's foreplay.
Yeah, that's their foreplay, huh?
People like that's foreplay. Fucking hate you, Johnny. I fucking hate you.
Ain't that what Trevor Bauer was doing?
Hey, no, Trevor Bauer is nasty, fam. Trevor Bauer's different. Like Trevor Bauer come into it like, yo, I'm gonna have when we have sex and I beat your ass.
And the women might be into it though.
Yeah. No, I'm not sure, but just don't hit me in the face. So you mean I give you a rib shot while I'm hitting you from the back? Oh, you know what? Yeah. Motherfucker get the nail in their ass, and then next thing you know, it's like, hey.
Trevor Bauer was on that.
That's what he into.
He was into 50 Shades of Grey on steroids.
Right. I'm not sure what they were into.
Yeah.
But reportedly, allegedly, he was. I don't mean to hit the mic like that, but that's the way of That's the way they make it seem.
Yeah.
Is the best way of putting it, just to make sure we straight. That's the best way. That's what they make it seem.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he was into.
Yeah.
And for him to be reinstated, and the Dodgers like, nah, we straight.
Hey, he getting picked up though. They gonna pick him up.
I don't think so, fam.
Bro, that man won a Cy Young Award, bro.
I
He's
don't
getting
think
picked up. Somebody's gonna sign him.
I don't think so, fam. That's why if I'm Trevor Bauer, I'm like, oh no, get the fuck up out of here. He slapped on tape.
The Dodgers don't really need him though, but I mean, I feel you though.
I mean, baseball players pitching need pitching. I don't give a damn.
I always need good pitching, but I think he gets signed somewhere. I think so. I think it's him. He served his debt, bro. He paid. He did this. He did his
wait
time.
A minute. We got an update on the Vince McMahon shit. Let's see if this is right. Let me read this. A friend of mine who was at a party in the WWE shareholders derivative suit was filed last June by Scott and Scott after the NDA allegations against Vince McMahon's service sent me the following update email that he received today from the lawyers. Names redacted to ensure privacy. Hope you had a great holiday season. I'm writing an update on WWE. We have been working with the company for several months and have received several internal documents, which we've been reviewing. We expect to get an additional batch of documents this week. You also may have seen the past week about Vince McMahon forcing his way back onto the board, along with a major board shakeup. As a result, we believe there's enough basis to bring a breach of fiduciary lawsuit. Oh, shit. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting wild out here in these wrestling streets, man.
Yeah, man.
Damn. It's getting wild out here. But nah, man, it needs to be more out there when it comes to Vince McMahon. Not Vince McMahon, Dana White. Because this shit wild, man. Yeah. This shit, Vince McMahon too.
The Golden Globes is today?
Yes, it is. No, it is. The Golden Globes is tonight. I'm gonna watch that.
I'm gonna have to check that.
Gerard Carmichael is watching it, and everything. I mean, he's hosting it, so no, yeah. So definitely, I'm gonna watch that. But no, man, it ain't been a lot of shit going on this week since we had talked. Did you see the Kang Dynasty trailer?
The who?
I'm not calling it Ant-Man, fam.
Oh, that's what I'm about to say. Like, what are you talking about?
Did you see the Kang Dynasty trailer?
Yes, I watched it. Yeah,
because Ant-Man got his ass whooped. That's why I'm calling it the Kang Dynasty trailer. And it's look. Let's be real, y'all. Let's be real. Marvel fans, all that stuff. Look, I know it's Ant-Man, but what black people do is we take over shit. It is no longer the Ant-Man movie. It's the Kang movie. It's the Kang and the Kang Dynasty movie. It's not Ant-Man. We don't really give a damn about Ant-Man. When we go, we're going to go to see Ant-Man get his ass beat. Since we know Kang is the big bad, we looking at the black dude as the hero, as the savior. You already know that. All right, you already know that because look at Black Panther. We looked at the black character that was the villain as the hero. What you think we gonna do with Kang when he beat Ant-Man ass? Yeah, it's the Kang movie, y'all.
He whooping ass, huh? Then we gonna see him whooping, and he gonna see him whooping ass in Creed 3.
Man, he whooping ass in Creed 3. He whooping ass in Ant-Man. He whooping ass. Shouts out to Jonathan Majors, fam. He just swole ass out there with the Paul Robeson lining. Just out there whooping people's ass. He's whooping people's asses in 2 straight movies. I don't know if he whooped people's ass in that movie when he was flying the planes in 1947. Yeah. But his next 2 films, he whooping white people ass and he whooping another black person ass.
He whooping ass, and then he just came off being a black cowboy too.
Oh yeah,
capping motherfuckers.
Well, nah, Idris Elba whooped his ass at the end though. He ended up getting him, but he was whooping.
Prior to that, though, my man was cold with the pistol, though. He was surgical with that motherfucker. So yeah, he doing his thing. He doing his thing.
No, man, shouts out to Jonathan Majors because look, man, Kang beat the shit out of Ant-Man. That's what we need to see in this world today.
Okay,
because I don't know what's gonna happen now, man. Huh?
You don't fuck with Ant-Man?
It ain't bad if I fuck with Ant-Man. I'm rooting for everybody black.
There we go. Say less.
Ant-Man ain't black.
Say less. Say less.
Sorry, fam. It's the Kang Dynasty movie. It's the Kang movie. Yeah. It ain't Ant-Man. It ain't the Wasp. It ain't Quantum Mania, whatever. Yeah. It's the Kang, fam. We going to see the Kang February 17th. And it's on Black History Month. Look, Kang beating Ant-Man ass.
Oh, Black History Month? We'll take it.
Not only in Black History Month.
We'll take that.
But Michael Jordan turned 60.
We'll take that.
On February 17th, Michael Jordan turned 60.
Yeah.
So it's a holiday all the way around, fam.
In the Jordan year.
In the Jordan year.
Yeah. I like the way this is
Oh, I
going.
just noticed Michael Jordan turned 60 in his Jordan year. That's So
Yeah.
Kang Dynasty whooping Ant-Man ass
Yeah.
on Michael Jordan's 60th birthday
Yeah.
in the Jordan year,
Yeah.
Black History Month. You can't beat that with a stick, Mike.
Can't nobody ruin Black History Month for us this year.
Deontay Wilder not fighting in Black History Month this year, so
We
definitely
good. Black
we
History Month.
good.
It's up for us, baby.
It's
It's up
up.
for us.
Thank you, Jonathan Majors. Hey man, you got any hot takes before we get out of here?
Nah, man. I think we straight. We good. I ain't got nothing for the people out there right now.
Mike, this is what I'm gonna do for our next show. I'm gonna see if my girl Kristen is available.
Life coach.
Yes. I was with everything that's going on with work and all of those stuff. I just felt like, the homies, we need to reset, fam.
Okay.
We need to reset a bit. So
She have kids? She have kids?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Did she have a daughter?
Yeah.
Okay.
So because I heard I
yeah,
saw that's part of it too.
Literally after I left your house, went home, bro. And that was the first thing she said to me when I walked in the door, bro. I literally just when she said it to me, fam, I didn't even respond to her, bro.
Wait a minute, how did she say it?
She's like, she came. So I came in the house and she was like, "Daddy, I got something to tell you." And I was like, "What's wrong?" And then she was like, "You know what? Maybe mommy will tell you." And then her mommy was like, "Nah, you tell her." And she was like, "Daddy, I came on my period." I literally stopped myself. I stopped and I walked away from her, bro, and got in the shower. I didn't even say nothing to her. I didn't say anything, bro.
Man.
I was shook. Shook, dog. Shook. She's 11, bro. She'll be 12 next month. But yes, I was shook.
Damn, man.
I was shook. I knew the time was coming eventually, bro, but I just wasn't ready.
How you feel?
I don't know, bro. I still don't know how I feel yet. I feel like queasy about it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just wondering and thinking. Like I'm having the conversations with my wife because obviously my wife is like guiding her through it and everything like that. Yeah. So it's just like I don't know, bro. I'm just more concerned about her now. I'm just more concerned and thinking about her day to day at school. She has to go to school and stuff like that. So how does she deal with it there when it does happen, bro? It's a lot, bro. It's a lot. I don't know. So yeah, that life coach, we might need that honest conversation, just to give me some guidance, some words of encouragement, how, a father should go about, saying things like this, So yeah, it was the moment that I was expecting, but I wasn't ready at that time. So, but it's all good. It's all good.
All right, man. Before we get out of here, we got one award for the Golden Globes that's going on right now. We got one award that's going on right now.
Is Euphoria and Stranger Things and stuff like that are already nominated and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who won? Angela Bassett won for Black Panther.
So when that happens, all signs point to her being nominated for the Oscars. When shit like that happens, the Golden Globe, when you win at the Golden Globes, you're gonna be nine times out of 10. All signs point to you being nominated for an Oscar.
Yo, that's dope. This is dope.
Shout out to
this
Angela
is
Bassett.
Dope. Angela Bassett is the Golden Globe winner for Best Supporting Actress in a Motion Picture for Black Panther. This is dope. This is sweet. I said it when I watched it. I had told Miriam when we was watching it, when she did that damn speech, I was like, nah, G, she winning something. She taking home something. Listen to the speech, man, before we get out of here.
January 22nd, 1994, I stood on the stage and accepted the Golden Globe for What's Love Got to Do with It.
Oh, she want to go to Globe for that.
The late Toni Morrison said that your life is already a miracle of chance, just waiting for you to order its destiny. But in order for that destiny to manifest, I think that it requires courage To have faith, it requires patience, as we just heard, and it requires a true sense of yourself. It's not easy because the path is circuitous and it has many unexpected detours.
Talk your shit.
But by the grace of God, I stand here. I stand here grateful, grateful to the Hollywood Foreign Press for giving me this honor along with Wakanda Forever. Grateful to my amazing team who every day, each and every one of them work along with me and beside me and on my behalf each and every day. Grateful to my family, Courtney, B. Vance, Bronwyn, and Slater. I love you from the depths of my heart.
Hey, man, shouts out to Courtney B. Vance. I'm going to tell y'all why in a minute.
Come to those who pray. And I see the truth of that every day as we welcome each new day as a family. To my Marvel Disney family.
Okay.
Ryan Coogler.
Hey, my man with the
Kevin Feige, Louis D'Esposito, Victoria Alonso, and Nate Moore, the cast and the crew. Weeping may come in the evening, but joy comes in the morning.
Talk your shit.
We embarked on this journey together with love. We mourned, we loved, we healed, and we were surrounded each and every day by the light and the spirit of Chadwick Boseman. And we have joy in knowing that, well, with this historic Black Panther series, it is a part of his legacy that he helped to lead us to. We showed the world what Black unity, leadership, and love looks like beyond, behind, and in front of the camera. And to the Marvel fans, thank you for embracing these characters and showing us so much love. We just made history with this nomination and with this award. It belongs to all of you, all of us. Thank you.
Oh, man. Hey, man, I love it. I love it. Especially after her badass son, did that whole
right?
TikTok thing about
who does that, bro?
I don't know who does that. Weird
So
ass
this
kids,
new generation, bro.
But shouts out to Angela Bassett winning the Best Supporting Actress award at the Golden Globes. Definitely making her one of the favorites to win the Oscar for it. She did say she won the Golden Globe for a role as Tina Turner. What's Love Got to Do with It? She was nominated for an Oscar. She didn't win it. But it would not surprise me. Well, one, she killed that role, fam. She killed that role when the whole thing about losing her family and all that stuff. When she was that had every last one of us in the movie theater going, oh, yep, she winning something. She taking home something this year. And she takes home the Golden Globe. But shouts out to Courtney B. Vance, fam. Let me say this now. You probably will not see this, listen to it, but if you was watching the Golden Globes, man, he is an actor himself, a very successful actor at that. His wife is up there accepting the award, and my man got his phone out, filming. Is like, let me film my wife's honor and winning this award, fam. That right there is the supportive man that women be talking about. Is that right there? No, most other dudes just be sitting there watching. No, Courtney B. Vance was like, let me do the old person shit. Let me go ahead and get my phone out. Like this shit ain't gonna be filmed and edited and filmed and put on TikTok and all these things just by the Golden Globe social media team themselves. He's like, nah, let me get that. But I'm glad that 61st Street show got canceled though. Say that I ain't like that show though. But man, Mike, well, that was a great way to end the show off, man. But we're gonna have Krista come on the show. I think we need it, fam. Oh, yeah. Need it for not just for us, but for the fellas. So I'm gonna hit her up and see if she could jump on. So Mike, end us off, G.
All right, man. Some Dude Pod. Y'all already know what it is. Rate, like, subscribe. Subscribe on Twitch. We on there. The What Digital. YouTube. The What Digital. IG. We at Some Dude Pod. Twitter at Some Dude Pod. Like the page on Facebook. Some Dude. Join the group on Facebook if you haven't already. Hashtag Some Dude Pod, and invite people into the group as well to get involved in the conversation and all that stuff like that. Hit the merch store and all that stuff like that. You know, I'm Mike B. That's JR Bang, and we out of here, man. Peace.
Shouts out to Roquan Smith. Told
100
y'all
million.
he was getting that 20.
100 million.